Hey guys, welcome to Fairytales for Reparenting, where we explore fairy tales from around the world for the lessons they can offer us on our reparenting journey. Today we're going to be looking at the fairy tale, The Magic Paintbrush. Once upon a time, there was a young man called Ma Ling. He was poor and kind and liked drawing so much that he drew pictures everywhere he went. One night, he dreamed that an old man gave him a magic paintbrush and asked him to use it to help poor people. When he woke up, he found the magic paintbrush sitting on his desk. From that day on, he used the paintbrush whenever poor people needed help. When he saw that people had no water to use in the fields, he drew a river and the river came to life. People could bring water from the river to the field and help their crops grow. When he saw the hardworking farmers struggling to feed their families, he drew more food for them to eat. Soon, many people knew about the magic paintbrush and were very, very grateful for Ma Ling. But in the village, there lived a rich man who was mean and decided to steal the paintbrush from the young man so that he could become even more richer. So he sent his servants to Ma Ling's home so that they could steal the magic paintbrush. Once he'd stolen the paintbrush, he realized that he'd never felt happier. He invited all his friends to come to his home so that he could show off his new possession. He drew a lot of pictures, but none of them would come to life for him. He was so angry that the paintbrush would not work for him that he sent for Ma Ling immediately. He said to the young man, "If you draw some pictures for me and bring them to life, I will set you free forever and give you whatever your heart desires." He said to the rich man, "What would you like me to draw?" And the rich man replied, "I want a golden mountain. I will go there to gather the gold." But the young man drew a sea at first. The rich man was angry and said, "Why did you draw a sea? I wanted a golden mountain. Draw it now, quickly." So the young man drew a golden mountain, which was far away from the sea. The rich man said, "Draw a ship, quickly, a big one. I want to get there immediately to gather all of the gold." The young man smirked, smiling ever so slightly, and drew the biggest ship he possibly could. The rich man jumped onto the ship in an instant and set off to find the gold. But when the ship sailed to the middle of the sea, Ma Ling drew a large wave that destroyed the ship, and the rich man was never seen again. After that, the young man lived with his family happily and used the magic paintbrush to help poor people as the old man had asked him to do. And from then on, the magic paintbrush was known and loved by everyone. The Magic Paintbrush is a beloved Chinese folktale about kindness, justice, and the responsible use of power. The story originates from Chinese oral folklore and was passed down through generations, before it was written down, of course, in modern collections. One of the most widely known versions was popularized in the 20th century by a Chinese writer, Hong Tao, who published this literary adaptation in the 1950s. Like many traditional folk stories, its roots likely stretch back far centuries into a time when stories were shared aloud in villages to teach children important lessons about character and community. At its heart, the magic paintbrush tells the story of a poor kid named Ma Ling who received a magical gift. Rather than using this power to gain wealth for himself, he chose to help those in need. Through the contrast between generosity and greed, the story shows how power reveals a person's true character. For generations, the tale has remained meaningful because it reminds us that talent and power are meant to serve others, and that greed ultimately destroys itself. As we look at the main themes and lessons in this story, kindness and compassion, true greatness comes from helping others. Power and responsibility, gifts and talents should be used wisely. Greed leads to downfall. Those driven only by wealth harm themselves. Justice and cleverness, intelligence and creativity can defeat cruelty. Helping the community, individual gifts can strengthen an entire society. Now let's turn to the reflection questions. Number 1, if you had a magic paintbrush, what would you create to care for or support your inner child today? Number 2, what do you think the paintbrush, or why do you think the paintbrush only worked for Ma Ling and not the rich man? And how might kindness towards yourself change the way your own inner magic works? Number 3, what does this story teach about the difference between greed and generosity? And how can you practice being more generous and compassionate with yourself? Number 4, What strengths, gifts, or qualities do you have that could help you nurture, protect, and support yourself as you continue your reparenting journey? As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to spread the word.